Have you ever wondered why, despite all your efforts, your life keeps spinning in the same cycles? Why, even though you long for change, something invisible always drags you back to the same point, as if some hidden force were writing your destiny for you? Perhaps you are not cursed. Perhaps you are merely enchanted by your own words, and you don't even know it. Today, you are going to discover something they never taught you in any school. A truth that was right in front of you, yet has remained hidden for centuries, disguised as normality. Language, words, your voice. They are not what you've been told. They are not innocent. They are not harmless. And they have never been neutral. Because every time you speak, you program your reality. And every time you stay silent, you allow another energy to speak for you. This is not cheap philosophy, nor a self-help game. This is vibrational power, pure energy, a spiritual technology as ancient as humanity itself, hidden, trivialized, deactivated. But today, we will remember it, because language was not created merely to communicate. It was created to create. From the very first breath, from the very first syllable, the ancient sages knew what modern science is only beginning to intuit. Every word is a frequency, a vibrational wave that propagates beyond the air, beyond the ear, beyond comprehension. Words are not sounds. They are keys, keys that open or close doors within you, and doors to other dimensions. The Egyptians did not speak. They invoked. They called their words Heka, words of power. They knew that to pronounce a name was not to name something, but to invoke its essence. They did not say Ra. They became the vibration of Ra, and each hieroglyph was not merely a decorative symbol. It was a sacred sigil, a cosmic antenna, a geometry loaded with precise vibratory intent. Do you think this is mystical? Perhaps yes. But the soul is mystical by nature. In India, mantras are not motivational phrases. They are vibrational sequences that awaken dormant forces. The Hindus knew, when you repeat a mantra, you are not speaking, you are activating a code. And in the West, we knew it too. We just forgot. The word became flesh. What do you think that means? It is not poetry. It is literal. The word is the original vibration, the very vibration that shaped the universe. And you? What do you say every day? What do you murmur when no one is listening? What words do you repeat in silence while the world carries on? Your reality is being written by those words, by those internal phrases you no longer even question. When you say, "This is impossible," you close a door. When you affirm, "I always have bad luck," you sign your condemnation. Because your subconscious has no sense of humor. It obeys. It executes, unfiltered. Since the day you were born, you have been bombarded by soulless words, automatic expressions, hollow language. And in that noise, you lost the true power of your voice. But there is something that no one can take from you: the ability to remember. To remember that every word can be a ritual, every sentence a spell, every syllable an act of conscious creation. Do you want to change your life? Don't start with your habits, start with your words. Because your habits are only the echo of what you repeat inside yourself. And what if I told you that many of your physical ailments do not come from the body, but from what you have kept silent? Tensions accumulated from not saying what you needed to say. Knots in your throat from repressed emotions. Illnesses born of swallowed words over and over again. In silence, there is also vibration. And if you do not release it, it consumes you. What is not expressed deforms. What is not released decays. Take a deep breath. Place your hand on your throat. and pronounce, "I release everything that has been denied me." Say it with strength. Say it with intention. Feel how it vibrates. What you just did is magic, true magic. Now imagine living just one day, choosing every word with complete consciousness. A day without automatic phrases, without decrees of lack, without repeating other people's beliefs. Just you, your voice, and your intention. How do you think that day would end? Who would you be by the end of it? Everything we once called prayer, incantation, chant, mantra is exactly the same. Directed vibration with intention. Do you think it's coincidence that every religion uses chants, repetitions, sacred names? Of course not. They know that language is not communication. It is programming. And this is what no one wants you to know. Because if you program your reality, no one else can do it for you. And that's when the whole system collapses. The media no longer controls you. Politics can no longer manipulate you. Religion stops scaring you. Because you understand that you are the one speaking, and whoever speaks decrees. Every "I can't" you utter is a spell. Every "this always happens to me" is a prophecy. Every "I am" is a creation. Do you really want to keep saying you are weak, that you are alone, that there is no escape? Or would you rather say that you are on your way, that you are awakening, that you are remembering? Change your emotional vocabulary. Don't say, "I'm dying of exhaustion." Say, "My body needs rest, and I give it rest." Don't say, "It's impossible." Say, "I haven't discovered how yet, but it will manifest." This is not self-deception, it is reprogramming. And your body listens, your mind absorbs, your soul celebrates. And what if the most sacred thing wasn't in temples, nor in ancient books, nor in secrets buried under the earth? What if the most sacred was in your throat? Because from there, from that small gateway of bone, flesh, and air, you can open the heavens or dig your own abyss. The choice is yours. There is no purer magic than saying, "I am peace," and feeling how your body relaxes. There is no more potent ritual than pronouncing, "I am abundance," and noticing how your energy shifts. There is no higher prayer than declaring, "I am the creator of my reality," and beginning to live as such. You don't need incense or candles or elaborate ceremonies. You only need one word, one single word, but spoken with soul, with intention, with presence, and everything changes. Now do it. Choose one word, only one. That represents what you wish to embody. Perhaps it is clarity, perhaps power, perhaps healing. Pronounce it, repeat its vibration. Feel it, make it yours. Let it dwell within you, and allow it from there to transform everything. Because you are not a mere speaker. You are a channel, a temple of sound, a creator with a voice. The next time you speak, ask yourself, what reality am I calling into being with this? Your voice is no accident. It is a gift that can open dimensions or close them forever. So use it with respect, and above all, with power. Because yes, you are the word, and you are creating the world, one word at a time. Are you ready to speak with intention? Or will you continue repeating spells that do not belong to you? The answer already vibrates within you. You only have to say it. And if all this were not the end, but merely the threshold of something far deeper, because there is something we still have not discussed, inner language, the one that cannot be heard, the one that is not spoken, the one that only you can hear, that eternal, invisible, ceaseless dialogue that accompanies you even as you sleep. That inner voice, the one that sometimes encourages you and other times sabotages you, is the origin of every reality you manifest. It doesn't matter what you say out loud if, inside you, you repeat sentences of doubt, fear, guilt, lack. That is what you plant in the quantum field of your life. Because the universe does not respond to the volume of your words, but to their vibrational coherence. Now, hear this. Thoughts are also language, but they are not always yours. Have you ever paused to question where many of your ideas come from? What if much of the mental language that defines you has been implanted? Implanted by your environment, by your family, by culture, by the media, by centuries of repetitions and echoes that never belong to you. Those automatic phrases you repeat. I'm worthless. That's just how I am. I'm unlucky in love. Are linguistic residues of a system that needs you to stay asleep. Your inner language has been domesticated, educated for passivity, for doubt, for fear, and you believed it was you. But there is more. Have you noticed how certain words awaken you? They generate a visceral emotion. They make you tremble. They make you cry without knowing why. It is no coincidence. Those words are archetypally encoded in your subconscious. Because language is also symbolic, and each symbol, each word, carries an ancestral charge that activates in you like a key that opens dormant memories. There are words you cannot understand rationally, but that your soul recognizes. That is archetypal language. The language that comes before language, before letters, before thought. The language of the soul. And there is yet another secret. Silence. Yes, silence is also part of language. It is the pause between the notes that gives meaning to the melody. Silence is not emptiness. It is container. It is sacred. Because in silence, your word takes shape. In silence, your energy charges. In silence, you listen to yourself. The sages of every tradition knew it. To speak without having passed through silence is to speak without soul. Just as you cannot give without having received, you cannot decree without having listened. And if all language is vibration, what happens to the tongues that are no longer spoken? Where did the power of the sacred tongues go? Sanskrit, ancient Hebrew, Aramaic, Nahuatl, esoteric Greek. Each of those languages did more than communicate ideas. They connected dimensions. Some phonetic combinations were forbidden because of their power. Some sounds were forgotten because they could alter states of consciousness. What does that tell us? That the forgetting of sacred language was no accident. It was part of a systematic disconnection, a vibrational amputation. Now listen closely. Letters, characters, symbols. They all have geometry, and all geometry is condensed vibration. The Hebrews knew each letter of the alphabet is a fragment of primordial energy. The Mayans, too. Their glyphs were living entities with their own soul. To write was not an informational act. It was a creative act. Because when you write, you seal. When you sign, you bind. And when you name, you summon. Have you ever wondered why a given name is so sacred? Because by naming yourself, you define yourself vibrationally. And in many cultures, the true name was secret. Because whoever knows your name has access to your essence. So what happens when you identify yourself with a humiliating nickname, with an imposed label? What happens when you sign off with resignation, saying, I'm a mess, I'm useless, I'm a failure? What happens is that you become bound to those vibrational forms. They are not random words, they are contracts, and many of them you signed without realizing it. Now, connect this to another, even more subtle dimension. Sound as a tool for multidimensional opening. Yes, every word, Every vibration emitted with intention can open energetic fields. This is something shamans mastered. They did not recite, they intoned. Their words were healing chants, and they did not need to know how to read. They only needed to feel the correct vibration. Today, we have replaced that with empty texts, hollow speeches, soulless viral phrases, and the sacred has become banal. But there is hope. You can recover vibrational language. You can turn your voice into an instrument, your word into a luminous sword, your silence into a force that orders your world. Because you don't need to know everything, you only need to awaken the awareness that every word builds. And from there, you can rewrite your story, not with grand speeches, but with new choices, small phrases, pure declarations, words spoken from the heart. That is a silent revolution. And here is a hidden code that almost no one knows. What you say upon waking programs your day. The first seconds after you open your eyes are fertile ground. The mind is still in alpha state, open, vulnerable. And what do you say? Ugh, I'm so tired. Same old story. I feel exhausted. Do you know what you do by saying that? You create the vibration of the day. You seal it. But if upon waking you say, thank you, today I am reborn, I am ready, then you rewrite the code. And that, though it may seem minimal, shifts your timeline. And there is more. Nighttime decrees. Because before you sleep, the soul prepares to journey. And the last thing you give your mind is the map. If you fall asleep saying, tomorrow will be terrible, the soul takes it as instruction. But if you fall asleep saying, everything aligns for my well-being, I am being guided, rest heals me, then you open doors to higher dimensions. And that nocturnal journey is not just rest, it is reprogramming. Did you know that the ancients placed words on their doors, on their beds, on their walls? Not for decoration, for vibration. Because they knew that matter also responds to language. Water, fire, wind. Everything responds to the word. Now one last truth that will change the way you speak forever. Every cursed word returns. Every word that wounds comes back to you. Every word that blesses also. The universe does not distinguish conscious from unconscious intention. It only vibrates with what you emit. Therefore, speak as one who is heard by all of creation. Because you are. You are not here to repeat empty phrases. You are here to activate the sacred language within you, so that every word you utter is an offering, a portal, a spell of love. You can no longer pretend you don't know. Now that you know the truth, you have the power to use it. Don't speak as you used to. Speak as one who knows they are building worlds with their voice. Your word is your magic wand. Your silence is your altar. And your voice is the soul's frequency manifesting on earth. From now on, every time you speak, pause, listen, and decide. Because that sound, that decree, can change everything. And you? Which word will you choose to build your reality? The next one might be the one that transforms everything, because every word is a seed, and what you say today will bloom tomorrow. But don't go just yet, because the most important thing isn't what you've heard. It's what you're going to do with it now. You have two paths. One, close this video, go back to your life, and keep speaking as if nothing had changed. Keep repeating the same words you've said 1,000 times, without thought, without intention, without soul. The other is to take control of the spell. Become the alchemist of your own word, not with theories, nor with wishes, but with sacred action. Because yes, to speak can be a divine act, or an unconscious repetition of programming you never chose, and no one will do it for you. Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow, and before the world absorbs you, you close your eyes and say, "Today, every word I speak will be light." No matter what happens, no matter if there is chaos, if there is noise, if everything seems to collapse, your word will be your axis, your shield, your channel. And whatever vibrates outside that frequency simply cannot touch you. Do you see it now? Language is not the end. It is the beginning. What you say shapes the air. What you remain silent about sculpts your soul. And what you choose to affirm determines the kind of human you are becoming. So tell me, what will you affirm tonight? What reality will you sow in your chest while the world sleeps? Because while most utter empty phrases, you now know the secret. You already know that every word is a key. And if you do not choose the door chooses you. Now, I invite you to do something different. Go to the comments and write a single sentence. I choose my words, but not just any sentence. A sentence you want to become real. The sentence that represents you. The one you want to see manifested. The one that speaks for you when you cannot yet find your voice. That will be your code, your vibrational seal. And don't write it for me. Write it for yourself. Because words written with the soul never die. And if you've made it this far, if your energy has resonated with every syllable, if you feel that spark inside you saying, "This is truth," then this channel is for you. Subscribe, not to watch another video, but to enter a space where words have soul, where every sound echoes the spirit, where the word is sacred. Here, we don't seek views, we seek awakening. And you know what? Thank you for speaking with me without speaking, for listening with your eyes, for vibrating from wherever you are. This is not an ending. It is a spell that has just begun. I'll see you in the silence between your words, there, where true magic begins. Goodbye. Or rather, until the next conjuring.